it's time to take off. You turn around and wave goodbye to your friends or your enemies, whichever they are. We'll be seeing them later. Alright, let's get this show on the road. You already know me, your tour guide, Bianca with the K. Our driver for today is Jose. Say hey, Jose.
Hi, Jose.
Awesome. Now I must introduce you to my co-host. You might recognize him from That's My Jam and The Tonight Show on NBC. Here's my co-host, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy! Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Bianca.
And the greatest driver.
Jose.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Bianca.
owes me $5.
Oopsies.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, Jimmy. We do have a few safety rules to go over. First, if you are in need of any guest assistance, have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value over the side of the tram, or if you are having any sound or video issues, reach up and pull the red emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I will be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, for the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside of the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, and if at any time during the tour you drop your phone, or you just can't wait to use the restroom, hold the cord and remain seated. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour today, and be prepared. Today's tour features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. You want to take out your cameras to capture some great photo opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety and the safety of those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. Alright, that's it for the safety spiels. We have officially left the theme park behind, and now we're diving deeper into our working movie and television studio. We're going down the Universal timeline, and these movie posters here represent just a few of the thousands of movies we made here at Universal Studios for over 100 years. Our rich history here began on March 15, 1915, and that was the day that our founder, Carl Laemmle, decided to open up Universal City to guests to allow them to witness movie making firsthand. Now, Carl Laemmle had a dream to open up the strangest city in the world, and honestly, he accomplished that dream. We're a very strange city. If you didn't know, this is an actual city. You're all in Universal City. You're not in Burbank or Van Nuys, Hollywood. You're in Universal City. And we have a lot of things a normal city would have, like our very own fire station over here to your right-hand side. That's about the last real thing you're going to see today as we dive deeper into our strange city. But other normal things that we have here include our own medical services, our own sheriff's department, our own zip code, our own postal service, our own laundromat. We used to have a DMV here, and we have not one, not two, but 3 Starbucks and a Hot Topic, so that's how you know we're legit, we are a real city. However, the reason that we're the strangest city in the world is that our population is 0. Although hundreds of thousands of people come here every day, nobody actually lives here, because we are dedicated to making movies and TV shows full time. So right now we're going into the front lot, which houses our administrative offices, our sound and editing facilities, as well as a majority of our 36 sound stages, one of which you're going to see over here on the left-hand side, Soundstage 12. So a soundstage is a giant warehouse-like building where we can build any kind of set that your mind can imagine. And here's some things that film inside a Soundstage 12 up on your screens. That's right, all of these things film in the same location, and right there shows you what a soundstage looks like before they build anything inside. There's matches like paddings on the walls, which helps our soundstages become soundproof. That's why you can film movies and TV shows over on your left-hand side, and then you can ride on Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge over here on the right-hand side, and you won't hear a thing. And then these soundstages that we're passing here on the left were used in productions like Hacks, Grand Crew, the revival of Saved by the Bell. They've been used in the shower scene from Psycho, as well as 6 seasons of the TV show Superstore with America Ferrera.
Let's have some patience with one another. Your face stays where it is.
Ouch. They would much rather build a store like Cloud9 inside of one of our sound stages instead of filming at a real Walmart or Target, because then you don't have to deal with real people that are trying to work and shop inside of these facilities. Inside of the sound stages, you have complete control over the environment, so you can do things like move the aisles around to put the camera wherever you need it to be for filming. Now here on the left-hand side, this is what we call base camp. That's all these trucks and trailers. Anytime they're filming, either out in the real world or here in the studio, base camp is somewhere close by. So if you look behind base camp, you're going to see a parking lot, and if you look on top of the parking lot, you're going to see that's where they're filming here today. That's where they're filming Bel Air. Bel Air also filmed inside of Soundstage 14. Soundstage 14 was also the Grinch's mountaintop lair and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now that parking lot has been used for a couple of scenes. You may have seen it as a parking lot in TV shows like Law & Order, NCIS, CSI, but it's also been used in this scene from Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
I remember that. Oh no! Don't leave me there.
That was not a real cliff. That was actually that parking lot that we passed back over there. They hung the mobile lab up from above with the crane, and then they added some real and fake plants over the side of the parking lot, so it looked like they were hanging off a cliff over there. So we're passing a couple more sound stages over here on your right-hand side. These sound stages have been the homes of classic sitcoms like The Jeffersons, Different Strokes, Martin, The Steve Harvey Show, and even Sabrina the Teenage Witch. But they've also been the homes of newer comedies like Good Girls, Rutherford Falls, Mindy Kaling's Never Have I Ever, as well as The Good Place with Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. Ted Danson filmed another TV show inside of these sound stages called Mr. Mayor with Holly Hunter. And if you've seen A Man on the Inside on Netflix, he also filmed inside of Soundstage 19 over here on your right-hand side. Now, I can't show you Ted Danson today, but if you look over on your left-hand side, you're going to see Ted drinking. Ted the Teddy Bear also has his own TV show that's been filming here in the lot. Now, next up are a series of small buildings we can call our bungalows. Here to tell you more about them are the stars from How to Train Your Dragon.
Hey there, Studio Tour. I'm Jared Butler.
I'm Mason Thames.
And I'm Nico Bro.
You know, these bungalows to your left are actually production offices.
Home to some of Hollywood's biggest filmmakers, including Mark Pratt, one of the producers of our new live-action movie, How to Train Your Dragon.
Everyone wave. We might be there right now.
And if you haven't already, be sure to meet the iconic and beloved Toothless over at the Plaza.
And see our movie only in theaters June 13th. Get your tickets now.
But in the meantime, here's a sneak peek.
Everything you know about dragons is wrong.
You ready?
Now, if you look to your left, you're going to see the signed MP from Mark Platt Productions. They also produced Wicked, as well as La La Land and Dear Evan Hansen. And if you keep looking over to your left, you're also going to see Bungalow 5195. That was the bungalow that belonged to Alfred Hitchcock, the master of horror and suspense. That's where he worked on his series Alfred Hitchcock Presents, but it's currently the home of the Dina De Laurentiis Company. They produced the Hannibal Lecter series, the newer Firestarter with Zac Efron, as well as Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And over here on your left-hand side, you're going to see a couple more sound stages. They look a little bit different because they have offices attached here in the front. These sound stages are being used for a TV show called St. Denis Medical. It just came out last year. They're filming their second season now, and it features David Alan Grier from In Living Color, Wendell McClendon-Covey from The Goldbergs, and Alison Tolman from Superstore. The inside of this sound stage is the inside of the hospital for this TV show. And now we're going to take you over to the back lot, which is the home of our exterior or outdoor sets, where we're going to show you the outside of the hospital in just a moment. So right now we're going into our metropolitan area. Our metro sets are about 4 acres of our back lot, and we can replicate any large or small city all around the world. Whatever you have in your town, we probably have it, or we can build it right over here. We have restaurants, movie theaters, banks, hotels, alleyways. We also have our very own version of Central Park and of Brownstone Street as well. You're about to see that area come up over here on the right-hand side, and you might recognize this area from Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, where Kevin was throwing the bricks down at the Sticky Bandits. That happened right over here on your right. That area was also seen in Gone Girl, where they were moving out. If you've seen the Mindy Project with Mindy Kaling, this is where she lived in that TV show. And this is the outside of the hospital for that TV show, St. Denis Medical. But let me show you instead of just explaining what has filmed here. You may have also seen this area from Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey.
Race the dog!
I'm in the shower!
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good. Oh, you're done now. Great. Be beautiful.
Now these brownstones are beautiful, but they are actually what we call facades. That's French for a false front. They are just the front and sides of buildings. No filming can happen behind any of these doors. Anytime you see these characters inside of this brownstone or building, that will actually happen inside of a soundstage on a completely different day. But next we're gonna turn the corner out of this small street to the Big Apple. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome over here to our New York street. Here's Jimmy Fallon to tell you some more.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. That old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Very true. This area has been seen in Transformers. It's also been seen in American Ninja Warrior, as well as Captain America, the First Avenger, where Steve Rogers is running down the street barefoot, jumping on taxi cabs. It's also been seen in my personal favorite Spider-Man, that's Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. You're going to see a black and gold cafe over there on the right-hand side. That's where Dr. Octopus threw a car at Peter Parker and Mary Jane in the middle of their conversation. They threw a car there 6 times until they got the perfect shot on camera. And then directly across, you're going to see a theater over there on the left-hand side. That's where Peter Parker was late for Mary Jane's Broadway debut of The Importance of Being Earnest. So this area is great when it comes to stunts and things like that, and I'll show you how they did that in the Blues Brothers.
When the Pinto fell and you saw it land and make this big hole in the street, that was on the back lot. They dropped it from a crane. You dig like that in Chicago, not a good idea.
When people ask me of all of the movies I've ever done, what was the most satisfying, the most fun, I've got to say Blues Brothers. You got to sing, you got to dance, got to drive, and train with the best stunt people in the world, and then got to be an actor and a writer. So it was a good piece of work.
Danny called John America's Guest because just didn't walk in anybody's house.
During the shooting of the movie, John was missing, we couldn't find him.
Danny went off looking for him and saw a light on in his one house and knocked on the door.
I said, sir, we're doing a movie down here, we're looking for one of our actors. Oh, John, yeah, he's on my couch. He came in, he had a snack a couple hours ago, he's sleeping. He was America's Guest. I mean, literally that.
Now we're going to take you out of the concrete jungle and into the real jungle. Here's director Peter Jackson to tell you all about King Kong.
It's the original King Kong that made me. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I like things that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up to the edge. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times.
Activate glasses.
So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island.
Get ready, this part's awesome.
Alright, now we have created this 3D Universal experience, so you're going to have to put your glasses on. Don't put them on yet, just have them in your hand if we're about to return to Skull Island.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going in. Remember to remain seated and keep all hands and feet inside of the vehicle at all times. If you want to take some videos, help yourself. Things will be happening all around our tram, but please turn off your flash so we don't disrupt any of the wildlife out here.
my money back.
So, did everybody get spit on by a dinosaur in there? Yes, that's good luck here at Universal, so congratulations. It's also a great moisturizer if you want to rub it in. Alrighty, y'all. That epic battle that you just survived was portrayed on some of the largest 3D screens in the world, standing at 40 feet tall and 180 feet wide. That experience was brought to you by Peter Jackson and a team called Weta FX. They are a New Zealand-based company that started off in their garage, but now they have 7 Academy Awards for films like The Avatar, The Way of Water, The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings trilogy. They also created Thanos from Avengers Infinity War, the Clickers from The Last of Us, and the Dragons from Game of Thrones.
They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know what people are looking for. Every shot that we're working on,
People looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this, a lot of the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. It's Tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
Now, if you look over to your left-hand side, we're driving behind a painted wall. It's painted to look like an actual building. I'll show you what it looked like here in the revival of Will and Grace.
We've all had our share of rough movies. Me included. One time I took a drink that said Lisa on it from my coffee place. I know my name's not Lisa. You are a bad girl. Stop the tram!
Now, right there on the left-hand side behind them, that is the other side of this painted wall over here on your left. That is our trompe l'oeil. The camera only has one eye or lens, so on camera that looks like a real building. And some of those doors open up, so it looks like people are walking into a real building on screen as well. But if you keep looking over here on your right-hand side, you're going to see another painted wall. This is our monster mural by an artist named Tristan Eaton.
Thou shalt rise again.
Paying tribute to our classic Universal Monsters. Now, 2 cool things happening. Over here on your right-hand side, we're getting ready to film here inside of our water tank. If you ever want to have characters swimming underwater, you don't want your camera to get wet, they can swim here in this tank. There are some windows here at the side that you put your camera up against the glass and your camera won't get wet as it sees everything happening underneath the water. And over here on your left-hand side, past this body of water, there's a couple of sound stages. The first 2, 30 and 31, that is where they film The Voice. If you're a fan of The Voice, you can sign up on a website called oneiota.com to be a live studio audience member for that show. And then if you keep looking over there to the left, you're going to see sound stages 32 and 33. That's where they film Happy's Place with Reba McEntire. But now we're turning the corner over here to 6 Points, which are Western sets that have been around since the silent film era. But this area has been used pretty recently as well. If you've seen Quentin Tarantino's latest film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, anytime they were working on the TV show Lancer in that film, that happened over here inside of 6 Points. If you ever want to film an old Western, we'll just block off tramps and trolleys from driving through this area, and we'll fill up all these streets with dirt, so it gives it that old Western feel. And over here on your right-hand side, this opera house is where they filmed a lot of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that's also what we call a practical set. So anytime you hear me use the word practical, that basically means it's real. That's a real set that you can film inside of. There's an upstairs and a downstairs inside of this opera house that you can use for filming. But the rest of the shops and saloons around us, they are just facades, just the front and side of the buildings. No filming can happen behind the rest of these doors over here. You may have also recognized this area from Saving Mr. Banks. It was also seen in Bedtime Stories with Adam Sandler. It's also been seen if you've seen the TV show Castle. They solved a murder over here as well after their honeymoon. Now, this area does lead into another area which is called Old Mexico. You might recognize Old Mexico from Nacho Libre with Jack Black. You're going to see his house coming up over here on your right-hand side. That area was also seen if you've seen Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, as well as the TV show Star Trek Picard. It was Planet Vashti on that TV show. It's also been featured in Westworld, as well as the TV show Monk. He solved the murder over here in Mexico in season 2. If any of you have seen Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti, Frankie Muniz, and Amanda Bynes, that also filmed over here inside of Old Mexico. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we exit outside of Old Mexico, I'm going to show you what it looked like inside of the TV show the film Big Fat Liar.
You cannot run the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
And just last week, they were also filming an Olympics commercial over there for the Winter Olympics, so keep an eye out for that pretty soon as well. So now we are passing the back side of our 6 points over here. Hey guys! We're going to see that we have sell properties or props outside here. We also want to have some properties that belong to the time period as well, so we'll leave them outside here so you can get weathered down and look like they belong in that old time period. That area is also filmed with a lot of what we call forced perspective. That's tricking your eyes into thinking that things are larger or smaller than what they really are. And we use forced perspective all throughout our studio, but even in the theme park as well. As we are exiting outside of this area, if you look past these trees over on the left-hand side, you're going to notice there's a body of water over there. And that body of water can be used for filming. It's called Park Lake, also known as the Hollywood Ocean. We have seen that area in Gilligan's Island. It was also the Pacific Ocean in McHale's Navy. But we trick you into thinking that small body of water can be as big as the Pacific Ocean by putting a miniature boat inside of that area and bringing the camera really close. That's called forced perspective. I'll show you how they did that for King Kong. This was Skull Island in King Kong, and this is how we filmed it inside of Park Lake over there to the left. We put a printed picture behind that body of water. We added some fake rocks. We added a miniature boat inside of that body of water as well. And then we added some fog effects to make it look spooky, used production assistants to use paddles and splash waves against the boat over there. And then when you bring the camera really close, this is the final effect. But you can tell how small the boat is when a duck swims next to it. And that's forced perspective for you. But next, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take you inside of this soundstage to show you a practical effect. So remember, anytime I use the word practical, that means it's real. You're going to see a real effect here. So you're not going to need your 3D glasses. When we use practical effects, that means the actors don't have to pretend with a green screen or anything like that around them. They can actually see everything happening in front of them and can give more realistic reactions. So I want some real reactions when we see our practical effects here inside of Soundstage 50. Soundstage 50 is pretty cool in my opinion. It's the only 2-floor soundstage that we have here in the lot. We can also actually drive our trams inside of it, and a train can also drive through this area as well. So it's the coolest soundstage to me. Now, over here on the... Okay. Nothing to worry about. Must be a California trimmer that we get from time to time. Oh, this is the big one. All right, everybody hold on tight to your loved ones. And by your loved ones, I mean your cell phones. And it sounds like the forest coming down. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, the ground is on fire! Alright everyone, just remain calm. Congratulations, everyone. You all just went over an earthquake, the big one. That was inspired by the 1974 disaster when the earthquake, and that's a great example once again of a practical effect that can be used right there and there as you are filming. The people in the back might actually see the train going back in place for the next train or trolley going in that area as well. You may have actually seen our earthquake attraction used in action if you've seen Bungalows Top 3 with Eddie Murphy. They filmed the fight sequence inside of there. It was also featured in the TV show Bones with David Boreanaz on an episode called Bones on the Blue Line. But man, it was a bit traumatizing, so maybe we should just relax and unwind. How about a little afternoon swim over at Amity Island from the film Jaws? You've seen Jaws, you know that Amity Island was going through a bit of a shark problem, and the beach was closed for quite some time, but don't you worry, I heard that they caught that shark, so there's nothing to worry about. And for extra safety precautions, they should have police divers inside of the water, making sure everything is safe and sound for you all before we go for a little afternoon swim. Yep, you'll see the shark right over there on the right. He's even smiling, so he doesn't look so scary now. And there's no one in the boat, so I guess the police diver's still underneath the water right now. Nothing to worry about. Wait, hold on. Do you see that? Okay, hold up. I think there's another shark in the water. Does anyone see our police diver, George? George? George! Oh, George, there you are. You gotta swim to the boat right now, my guy. There's a shark coming for you. Swim to the boat. What are you doing? Oh, George. You had a lot of guts for being out there. Ooh. And there they are now. Okay. Well, we have a new opening in our police diver internship. If anybody would like to fill that position. But if not, that's cool. We can hide together. We can hide right over here behind these gasoline tanks. I think I read somewhere that sharks are afraid of fire. And hopefully the shark will take the bait from that yellow barrel and we'll make it out of here in one piece. Wait, hold on. Did we take the whole here? Woo! Woo! Okay, that's hot. Wow, that was not supposed to happen. Okay. All right, everyone. Nothing to worry about. But does anybody have eyes on that shark from earlier? Huh? Here we go. Gonna need a bigger shark. All right, anyone give up for our shark Bruce over here? Does anyone know what kind of shark Bruce is? You can shout it out if you know. I guess I think I heard someone. It's a plastic shark though. It's just a practical effect. This is our mechanical shark Bruce, named after the mechanical sharks that they named after Steven Spielberg's lawyer, Bruce Raymer. They said he was a shark in the courtroom. Our shark over here, he's super talented. The only shark in the world that can swim backwards. The Bruce that was used on the set of Jaws, a bit of a drama queen because they never tested out his mechanical effects with salt water. That's what they were dealing with out in Martha's Vineyard when they filmed Jaws. And the very first time Bruce touched the salt water over there, the salt corroded his mechanical effects and he sunk down to the bottom of the ocean the very first day of filming.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough for a while there as big as it was. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Yeah, Bruce caused so many problems on set, they nicknamed the film Flaws. But if you look over to the left, you're going to see the brown boathouse says Cabot Cove. That area was also Cabot Cove, Maine, in the TV show Murder, She Wrote with Angela Lansbury.
What? Murder, She Wrote? Like, take it.
And that will take us to more of the residential neighborhoods that we have here in the back lot. Over on your left-hand side, you're going to see Elm Street. No Nightmares filmed over there, but what has filmed over there is Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties, The Incredible Hulk. It's also been featured in Ghost Whisperer, Hancock, and Norbit. And over here on your right-hand side, you're going to see our Chicken Ranch. Our Chicken Ranch was featured in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton. That's where she sang the song I Will Always Love You. It was also the Firefly House from the House of a Thousand Corpses. If you remember LMFAO, they did the song Party Rock in in the house tonight. That's also where they filmed the music video, Sorry for Party Rockin'. To your left-hand side, that is our Colonial Street. That light greenhouse belonged to Nancy Drew. The dark greenhouse belonged to Ben Matlock. But you might also recognize that area as Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives. They filmed there for all 8 seasons of that TV show. It's been featured in other TV shows like Never Have I Ever. That's where Davey lives as well. And they're currently filming The Burbs as a miniseries with Keke Palmer. That's where the original Burbs filmed as well.
I think I want to be an actor. Maybe all of it together.
Now, it looks like we're driving through the middle of nowhere, but that's on purpose. This is Wilderness Road. You may have seen this area in the Netflix film Bird Box with Sandra Bullock. It's also been featured in Cocaine Bear, Never Have I Ever, as well as the Fox series 911 with Angela Bassett. They filmed an overturned limousine rescue mission here on what was supposed to be Mulholland Drive. And anytime you see a vehicle like a limousine up on your screen, that is known as a picture car. And sometimes picture cars can become more famous than the people driving them, like the picture cars we have to show you right over here. There's a lot of cars, so I'm going to just list them all. We got the Glamour Tram here that was used in a new bomb. We also got the Gyrosphere here from Jurassic World. We got the Ferrari from Magnum PI, as well as the Taxi from American Graffiti. We got the Vienna truck from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? The electronics truck from Nope. Picture cars from Back to the Future 2, as well as the Flintstones over here on the left-hand side, and the Fast and the Furious. We also got some picture cars back over on the right from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets and Mr. Bean's Holiday. Over here on the right-hand side, we also got the Duesenberg from The Mummy Returns. And we got Bumblebee over here on the left-hand side next to a police Decepticon car named Barricade. So they fight on screen with their best friends here on the lot. But I don't see any drivers over here. I'm wondering, are they all spending the night at the Bates Motel, where they have 12 rooms and 12 vacancies? And I've heard the showers here are to die for.
I like this movie.
Now, folks, around the corner is the Bates Motel. So the Bates Motel is run by a pretty fellow. His name is Norman Bates. Really close to his mother. He still lives with his mother up there in the house on the hill. Oh, I thought I saw something. There he is. So there's Norman. Oops, it looks like we've interrupted his workday. I'm so sorry, Norman. Just want to go ahead and take a picture of these sets. Go ahead, help the guests with checkout. Oh no, they probably left a huge mess. I see the mop and the bucket there. But it looks like he's going to be helping the guests put their luggage into the trunk. Oh, he's actually helping the guests to their vehicle, probably because they're not wearing shoes. What a gentleman. Oh no. Hey, Norman, we were just about to leave. Nope, you don't need to do that. Okay, that's a very sharp knife. Mario, if you want to go ahead and take off. Now would be better. Uh-oh. Oh, no. It was really nice knowing you,
Angle in the film. After the film, we decided to add 2 more walls to make Mother feel right at home.
You're probably watching me. Let them see what kind of a person I am.
Some say if you look upstairs, you might be able to see Mother watching. She's always watching.
I hope they are watching. They'll see and they will know. And they'll say, but she wouldn't even know.
Yeah, she doesn't look too happy up there though, probably because her backyard is a complete mess. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the set of Steven Spielberg's The War of the Worlds.
Hey, this is what happens when you let Fredo drive. I mean, Fredo wants to be a pilot.
All designed about sit down and talk about it. I thought, what if it's a right in a big neighborhood? It's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. The screen looks so real.
Bobby, get in. Get in.
Now, if you're wondering, that is a real airplane. That's a retired Boeing 747 aircraft that was destroyed for just about 3 to 5 minutes of this film. And if you keep looking over there on the left-hand side, you're going to see a cabin. That cabin was used in The Great Outdoors with John Candy. But next we're going to take you to another alien crash site. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jupiter's claim for Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Live. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so revived. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, the gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. Smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
Oh no, it's happening. Whatever you do, don't look up. If you looked up, you would not have survived this movie. We opened these areas or this set the same day the movie came out, so we added sound design. If I take away the sound, not as scary. These are the actual sets from Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope, but they did film this film out in the Santa Clarita Desert, so they broke down the sets and then rebuilt them here to be a part of the studio tour the same day the movie came out. We consider this movie like Jaws in the sky. We think that Nope stands for Not of Planet Earth because it's about a creature in the sky. When you look up at that creature, something bad happens. So next time, don't look up. Now, as we're exiting out of this area, if you look over to the right-hand side, you're going to see a giant blue wall. That is Falls Lake. That's the largest freestanding blue screen in the world. And it works just like a green screen, where we get to use computer-generated imagery. We can put any 3D object, surface, creature, or representation up there on that blue wall. And if you're wondering why we call it Falls Lake, where all these trucks are parked over here, we can actually fill up that area with water and do really cool action sequences. So if you've seen The Truman Show with Jim Carrey, when he crashes into the wall and says goodbye to the set that he knew was his life, that happened right over here. If you've seen The Hunger Games Catching Fire, when Katniss enters into the arena and she's surrounded by water, happens over here too. And if you have seen the OG SpongeBob SquarePants movie, that is where David Hasselhoff shot SpongeBob and Patrick back into Bikini Bottom from his chest. So I'd like to take a job right next to Bikini Bottom. Here's some more things that I filmed inside of Falls Lake up on your screen. That is where Norma Bates and Marion Crane's car in Psycho. That was before the wall was built. When we did build the wall, we painted on it, so all the clouds you see here in the sky were painted onto this wall for Jaws the Revenge.
So, hey.
Even that cow was portrayed on that wall. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us towards the end of our tour this afternoon. I hope I didn't destroy too much of that movie magic for you. I hope I just heightened your experience, and now you can destroy that movie magic for your friends and family back at home. For over 110 years, Universal has been thrilling audiences around the globe. Our founder, Carl Laemmle, had a vision to make movies that would make audiences laugh, cry, or sit at the edge of their seats. When he first opened up the doors to Universal City in 1915, he wanted to open up the world of movie making to everyone. He understood the power of storytelling on the screen and the excitement that going behind the scenes can inspire. I hope you've been inspired by your visit to the studio tour today too.
You guys go.
And if you look over on the right-hand side to get a final glimpse of our movie studio and see the competition out there, hopefully now you all understand why they look up to us here at Universal Studios. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to purchase any of the movies or TV shows that we talked about on today's tour, you can go to www.upg.com, that's upg.com, or feel free to stream on Peacock, our streaming platform also. Once again, if you want to be a live studio audience member for TV shows like The Voice, you can sign up on a website called oneiota.com. And make sure you downloaded the Universal Studios Hollywood app where you can confirm the park closes tonight at 7 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you all had fun on our tour. My name is Bianca with a K. I was your tour guide for today. If you did not like my tour, my name is Bianca with a C, and your driver this afternoon was Jose. We hope that you had fun with us, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. As they say in the movies, that is a wrap. Please look around you, gather all of your belongings, and watch your step as you're exiting out of the tram. You can return your 3D glasses into the blue bins. And I'll be standing by the studio directory sign if you have any questions about the tour, life, or the rides here in the park also. All right, everyone, it's been fun, but now it's time for you to hit the road, Jack.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and
ringing a bell
so you'll be notified of our next upload. And as always, may the adventures be with you.